How's it going? Trey Clark here, as I usually am. I'm going to jump right into this, as I usually do. And I've been bitching to high heaven about this for almost 3 years now. We did not go to the fucking moon, okay? And if you want to believe it, that's fine. But you're going to have to at least acknowledge that there's some fucked up shit that you have to take for granted. We went 240,000 miles, roughly, as if that's how far it really is. And we went in a tin can that is, by their own specs, the LEM, about the size of 3 sheets of aluminum foil, okay, through the vacuum of space. We did it 5 times with no deaths at all. We can't even go to the bottom of the deepest parts of the ocean. And I know everyone's going to say, blah, 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 it's reverse pressure, as if that's any different. At least that's here on Earth. We can, keep going down a little further and further and test everything. We went 5 times without any incident at all. Perfect score. The LEM, L-E-M, I didn't even know this until I was watching the Big Bear on his podcast. That was JFK's his gay lover's name. He lived with him at the White House. How many people's name is Lem? And then it just so happens that his gay lover, LEM, happens to have the same name as the lunar lander, the lunar module. Come on. And then so now we can't go back. Okay, since 72, we have not been back to the moon. No. We should have been back. We should have colonized it. You think we wouldn't colonize that motherfucker? We should have a camera there. We also can't even aim Hubble at the moon. My camera, and I might attach a video to this, but I attached plenty as far as my moon pictures. I would be able to see a flag on the moon. Matter of fact, I just saw my own video on YouTube. I need to see the deal. It has like 1.4 million views. And I was like, I'm going to check this out. And I was like, that's my freaking video. I just shot it the other night. So I need to start getting monetized. Now there are, we can't go back because of why? Because of the radiation belts. Well, why can't we get through the radiation belts? Why don't we just use at least some of the same technology that we had before? They're gone. All of it. Do you see how fucking insane this is to believe that we went? If you were to go into a court of law and try and prove you went to the moon with the amount of evidence that there is, they would laugh you out of court. Period. We did not go to the moon. What do you think would happen to a rover, a regular air-pressured tire, and of course this is all new ground for us. Okay, this isn't like we have spent time there and have been able to do studies. What do you think would happen to a regular rover, about 30 to 35 pound psi, their tires, regular tires, would happen in a vacuum? How would you set it? There's no compressor, by the way. You can find out all this stuff. You just have to look it up. There's no compressor on the LEM, so they weren't letting air out of the tires and putting it back in or anything like that. What do you think happens to a rubber tire in a vacuum? It explodes, okay? It's negative pressure. And if any of you fuckers want to, chime in, if somehow everyone wants to say, well, whatever, you're not a physicist, but everyone becomes one once I point out just painfully obvious facts. We did not go to the moon. There's no way. Why would you bring a rover to the moon? A fold-up rover, and then leave it there. And guess what? I would be able to find that rover. They say there's tracks, and all they do is they show you the shit on the NASA website, and they just show you a red line where the tracks would be if you could see them. And they say that's proof. That's how fucking stupid we are. We did not go to the moon. An astronaut's outfit is cloth. It is stitched, okay? 3/16 of an inch. 3/16 of an inch. That's what's protecting them. Okay? They made a phone call from the White House in 1960s technology. Do you realize the size tower you would have to get, the amount of power you would have to push to get all the way to the moon? You would have to have a tower. I don't even know enough about it to know how big it would be, but I know how big we have to have it here on Earth. I know how I lose cellular service in between my den and my kitchen. We did not go to the moon. They did not make a phone call to the moon. The moon rocks are fake. They're petrified wood. Okay? If you look at all the interviews of the astronauts, they saw stars. They didn't see stars. They saw stars. They didn't see stars. The chest-mounted the Hasselbeck, I think it's called the Hasselbeck camera. It's chest-mounted. Okay? They're wearing gloves and a vacuum, and they're able to take these phenomenal pictures, phenomenal coffee table ready pictures that are perfectly aligned. Yet they're doing this with thumbs, and they can get the aperture and the shutter speed and all the exposure just perfectly, thousands of pictures. No! I'm a photographer. I know how this shit works. The moon is supposed to be, there's something called the inverse squared law that has to do with how bright an object is and how it dims as it gets here. If you were to use that law that we use for everything to figure out how something bright is here on Earth, the moon would be like 100,000 times brighter than we see it. We don't have cameras that can expose film that can do that. Okay? And by the way, the film had to go twice through the deadly Van Allen radiation belts, which I don't even think are true. I think they just come up with that to tell us why we didn't go back, and we're too stupid to go, well, that makes sense, without asking, well, how did we go the first time? There's an astronaut that actually said, well, we didn't have to worry about it because we didn't know we were there. That's how fucking stupid they think we are. And guess what? They're right. I'll bet you 99.9999% of the people that even look into it will still go, oh, but we still went. They wouldn't lie. Fuck yeah, they would. They lie about fucking babies on a deserted island or a secluded island, and all the richest people in the world and most powerful people in the world go there. Yeah, you can lie about big things. And we're just worker bees. We're just ants. We did not go to the moon. No freaking way. We would have gone back. We would have a camera shined on Earth. The reason they won't do this or aim Hubble at the Earth to see where we live or at the moon to see where we went, because we'd be able to zero in on the flag and everything, is because they can't. They won't even take so much as a selfie out of the cupola in the ISS. They won't do it because if they do it and it's time-stamped, we can match up the cloud patterns and the star patterns and where they're going. Do you realize how fast you have to go to get into orbit? 17,500 miles an hour. No. And I'm stealing a little bit of intellectual property from the Big Bear, but I didn't even think about this. I mean, I was just thinking about the acceleration, what that would do to your body, and I was like, that would kill you. But just the slightest bank doing that fast would drain all of your blood to one side of your body, and you would die instantly. We did not go that fast. 17,500 miles an hour. A bullet goes, I mean, it's like 5 to 10 times the speed of a bullet. And I've seen the ISS fly over. It's a balloon or a high altitude craft. By the way, Sophia takes better pictures than the Hubble. How's that? It's just a high altitude plane. It's a NASA plane. They have a Hubble in Sophia. I'm going so far as to say there is no Hubble up there. It is Sophia. It's just a plane that has the same telescope that is supposed to be floating around up there. How does the ISS not ever see any satellites? If I was up there, shit, I'm here on Earth seeing the same stuff you do, and I'm taking pictures all the time. You think I wouldn't be, if you were in the ISS, wouldn't you just be going constantly like, holy crap, here's a live feed on Facebook. They never do that, ever. They will never aim their camera real time at the Earth because they're not there. It's bullshit, all of it. And I don't care how many people call me a fucking idiot and say, well, you don't have a physics degree or whatever. Fuck you. You don't either. And if you do, call me. I will be glad to pick your brain apart. I've learned more about gyroscopes and air pressure and torque and as far as vacuum chambers, and 3 years of this stuff, I've been basically spending almost all my free time on it. It's a good way to quit watching porn, I promise you that. I'm telling you, we did not go to the moon. Look at all the reasons why it's a lie. Look at all the reasons why it's not a lie. What's the evidence? Guess what? Somehow they lost 3 fucking warehouses full of all the evidence. There's not one shred of evidence of the greatest thing ever that mankind has ever achieved. No. If you're that stupid, just believe it or whatever. But we didn't go. Sorry. And no one wants it to be true more than me that we went. I'm a sci-fi junkie, and no one loves space, the idea of space and space travel more than me. We didn't go. It's a lie. And once you know they're lying about that, they can lie about anything. And they are. Cheers. You all have a great day. Trey Clark, out.